Hello there. So this is middle of June. There is one tradition in my household that we plant a fruit tree middle of June every year. There is some basic story behind it, but it's quite personal, so I would not be going into that. But that said, we've been doing it for 14 years now. Not all the trees have made it, but at the same time, there are quite a few. And I'll take you around to give you a rough idea of how some of the trees look. So this year, it's a red Fuji apple. I do have a lot of, when I say lot, not lot compared to if you have a real farm, I'm talking about a suburban backyard. In a suburban backyard, 2 or 3 fruit trees are a lot. So it's more than that though. A couple of different cherries, red and white. Different apples, sour as Granny Smith, then golden, and then this will go in, and then I have one in the front which was supposed to be 4 different apples, but since squirrels take everything away, I've never seen what the ripe fruit will look like, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm not saying that whoever sold me lied to me. I'm just saying squirrels take everything. Then other than that, I've got 2 persimmon trees. One is the longer one and one is the flatter one. The flatter one I planted last year. And then I have apricot, pear, nectarine, so a few trees. The amount of fruit we will get out of it will be like a couple of bites. I've not been able to figure out the solution to squirrels yet, but I will one day. Either I will have so much fruit that the amount of squirrels which I hear, they would not be able to destroy everything, or I'll figure out a solution that will help. So as I said, red Fuji apple is the one I want to do today. I originally went to buy one of the yellow kinds, the sweet ones. Those are the ones I prefer, but they sold all of those out. So let me show you around. Let me show you some of the fruit. The spot which I picked earlier was one of the spots where one of the trees died 2 years ago. Actually, it was a tree from 2 years ago died last year. And when I was about to put it over there, I just realized that the spacing is not correct. So I'm about to dig into a new spot. And next to it, when I went there, and I typically don't go to the back of the house or back of that yard, that part of the yard that much. There's a tree, and the amount of fruit which is happening on it, it'll almost like break the tree into 2. So I'll show you that also. So let me take you to a quick tour. You will see some pictures of all these trees I've done over the years. Luckily, I saved all those pictures. There are a couple of years which are missing, but other than that, I do have most of the years there, so you can see those. So let's go around. So this is one of the golden apricots. The tree is small, but see the amount of fruit that's on it. And this is one of the golden apples which died a few years ago. It was golden delicious, yes. This is a pear tree. Some spots are happening on it. I have not been able to figure out, no fruits this year. But this is one of my persimmon trees which was planted good over a decade ago. Right now you won't see anything on it because persimmon, the way the fruiting happens, it's later in the season. So I can already tell because bees are happening on it, and I've seen some things which tell me, actually here we go. So if you can see this, this is what the fruit will become. Then from here, if I come this way, this was one of the first trees I planted over here. This is a Granny Smith. And this has produced enough over the years that I've been able to make a lot of vinegars out of it. I'm not a big fan of Granny Smith, but it helps. This is my white cherry. We've been eating a lot of fruit. Squirrels, birds have been enjoying it a lot. The fruit almost is gone, but the fruit was delicious. If I come this way, then I have another cherry tree, which is a regular red. Again, that fruited and it's gone, and it's all good. Some apricot nectarine trees. This one is the flatter apricot. You see the fruit. I don't know if I'll be able to again get anything out of it, but it looks beautiful. Now the one I want to take you to the back, that's the one which amazed me. And as I move there, you'll see that there's almost greenery towards the ground. And it's really the amount of fruit on that tree. So if you look at it, I do not know how much you can see through this camera. This is full of fruit. It has so much fruit that the tree is not able to figure the weight out. So I told you earlier that I was planning to do the tree this year where my golden delicious was, but then I decided that there might not be enough space. So this is the area that I'll be digging right now, and then I'll come back and show you that how I'll plant that tree. So this is the most fun part of planting a tree. So the rule about planting a tree is, or the rule I follow, the size of this pot, the depth and size, it has to be more than that. One thing you have to be careful, if you come over here, typically the fruit trees you buy, they're grafted. So this plant should not go higher than this. It should be really wherever the system is. Because if you do, it will start growing from bottom here, which might be a wild apple. And that's not what you're looking for. You paid money for this one, the red apple. So make sure that one, you don't go in too much. Second, if something starts growing from here, just cut it off. You always want to come like a foot or something and try to make sure that your plant grows that way. So let me finish the digging, and once it's done, then we'll see if the hole is big enough for the whole plant. So I've spent like, what, not even 5 minutes. I'm already huffing and puffing. One of the laziest person on the face of the earth. And even though my brain tells me that the hole is not big enough, but my visual thinking, I'll hope that it is. So what I'm trying to do is, if you see over here, it has to be covered this much in the ground. Around here, couple of 3 or 4 inches, and let's see how it fits. Okay, here we go. I think I should spend another couple of more minutes, because being lazy, spending $100 on a tree, all you're told is a family tradition, that'll be just a shame. So I need to take another 2 minutes, clean around a bit, go more circular, dig another couple of inches, and I think we'll be good to go from there. So I've already measured it. The size of the hole looks right. I think we did go a bit deeper, but that's always a good thing, because you can always put some of the dirt back or the soil back and do something like this. So what will make it aerated? I don't have the right fertilizer for a fruit tree, but it's an organic garden tone, which is more for fruits, vegetables and other things. But having a little bit of this would not hurt. I can always come back and do a top layering of some kind of fertilizer in a few days. So what my plan from here is, throw some in here. I'll refill. So there are 2 kinds of soils which came out. The bottom part, the colors are different. The top part is darker because this used to be my growing bed. I'll do different things over here. So that's as far better soil than what's in the bottom, which is a bit rockier. But still, it's not as bad. Like, it still opens up very nicely. Only try to open this up. Now, Many people have different ways of doing it, and I'll tell you mine. You don't have to follow what I do. Many don't believe in it, but I do. And what that is to open up the root bulb of it, not take all the dirt away or soil away, just open it up. Give a little bit of massage. It's almost like same kind of thing. Had a long day at work, somebody gives you a quick rub on your back, you feel good. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Nothing more than that. It's opening up the root bulb. I won't do more than that because I don't think it's required. So now, next thing is this goes in. In this planting situation, you can do most of the things alone. This is one part that you do need somebody else to help you, because the hard part of digging and everything is done. This is the part where you have to look at how the tree will look in the future. So what do I mean by that? My sun starts from there. This tree will get sun till here because on top of it are other trees. We're talking about good 8 hours during summer or longer. By the time the sun goes that way into the west, because of my huge trees, it would not get too much. So if you look at this tree over here, it already shows that how much it has grown that way and hardly on this way. And logically the same thing will happen to this. So anything which looks middle and center looks nice, and my cameraman can help me shake the camera, shake the head, or one or the other. So the head was done. No reason. Okay, so that's good. Bit more fertilizer before I do anything, because from here I'll start packing the bottoms to keep it straight first. Once it's straight, then I can keep on pouring all the soil on it. So right now, if you look at my hand, I'm pushing it away from me. The reason being, it comes too far this way, so I'm trying to put the soil underneath it. So let me go ahead and pack it, and once it's done, we'll do the mulching and then watering, and we're done. So all the planting is done. We have covered it. You'll see that joint where the graft has happened still higher. I put a circle around it, even with mulch, but everything is settled down as a water. What I forgot to mention to you, when it comes to trees, fruit trees or even bigger shrubs, always try to buy them from your own climate zone. The reason is, those trees or plants have been sitting there for some time. Now, in case you don't, like I go 45 minutes south of my house. I'm in zone 7B, I'm in 6A. So if you do tend to do that, make sure that to buy your plants and let them sit in your front yard or backyard, wherever that might be, for a couple of weeks, so that they get used to the microclimate of where you are. So as I water it, we come to the end of this episode. I think you enjoyed, I think you learned. If I made a mistake, let me know in the comments. And as I always say it, like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much.